believe in the Most High. They don't believe in it. I'm telling you, man, somebody is in an emotional storm. Somebody is trying to like really disconnect you from this guidance that you have on the other side as well. Okay? And they're very emotional about what's going on in the courtrooms pertaining to this Four Pentacles energy that they're trying to hold on to when it comes to this family inheritance. This is a family, y'all. Talk to me, Spirit. What else do we need to know? Yeah, somebody is suffering the consequences for some type of like actions that they took pertaining to this. For trying to hold on to this and for trying to stop you from ascending, from growing, from becoming. Somebody is most definitely, y'all, in a heap of trouble. They in a heap of trouble, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, because whoever you are, man, you are divinely connected to the Most High. You get your divine guidance from the Most High. You have the spirit of discernment. You're somebody that's very wise, and they took action to try to attack you. They took action to try to attack you. These are people like who do not believe in the Most High. This is what this is giving me, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the energy of this reading is giving me a group of people who do not believe in the Most High. They don't believe in it. They're hitting enemies that no longer are hitting anymore. You know exactly who they are, and you putting their ass on the platter. With the hidden enemy coming in the reverse. You know that they betrayed you for this, and they're suffering the consequences for this. You know this already. Somebody could even potentially want to come in and be honest about this right now because they're suffering the consequences.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Spirit.
Like you can see, having strokes, dying.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is somebody from your childhood. Somebody from your childhood, y'all, is having legal issues, man. Somebody from your childhood, yeah, because of some type of like truth you speaking, and Spirit is saying that this is the truth with the Ace of Wands, with Ace of Swords coming out. This is all true. This is all true. Yeah, these are emotional manipulators, man. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to emotionally manipulate the courts. They probably going in there and saying that you're attacking them, you using spiritual warfare on them, and the judge is looking like, what reason does this person have to attack you? This person 9 times out of 10 does not even know that these court cases are taking place because he's not here. And let you tell it, this person is mentally insane. So how could they possibly be trying to attack you? They're trying to emotionally manipulate the court, okay? So the judge is calling BS, y'all. I cannot make it up, man. Yeah, this could be a lover or 2 lovers that's involved with this. There was hidden enemies that's being exposed and suffering the consequences behind their action, working with some type of like dark priest, okay, high priestess to get some type of like guidance, to betray you, to send you some type of like 10 of swords energy that you keep on overcoming, okay? That you keep on overcoming for this money, y'all. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You see church going people turn into straight devils, y'all, when it come to money. I can't make it up. I'm gonna tell y'all something. You see church going people turn into straight devils, y'all, when it come to money. I can't make it up. You see the church going people turn into straight devils when it come to money, y'all. That just lets you know they spirit and they soul. That lets you know a person's spirit and they soul. You was never, if money can make you turn into a devil, you was never with God anyway. Give me a second, y'all. Person's spirit and they soul. I can't make it up. Sees right through these 2 lovers, man. That's suffering the consequences for their action. Just let you know they spirit and they soul. That lets you know a person's spirit and they soul. You was never. Yeah, I apologize, y'all. Yeah, this judge sees right through them. I cannot make it up, man. I can't make it up. Sees right through these 2 lovers, man. That's suffering the consequences for their action. And I'm telling you, they're very emotional about what's taking place in this court because they have some type of legal issue. Okay? Constantly taking action to attack your stability. And you keep overcoming this situation. Okay? This is somebody who's trying to gain some type of divine guidance, some type of divine guidance in order to emotionally manipulate the court because somebody wants to be independent and wealthy. An energy vampire, okay? Somebody could be a dark high priestess, meaning a female practitioner that is trying to disconnect you from the Most High. Okay, these are clowns. They could be watching your social media site, but make no mistake, these are people from your childhood that's trying to attack your social media to stop it from growing in any way, form, or fashion. Okay, and this is crazy. And they're getting divine guidance to try to, they think they get divine guidance from a dark high priestess. I doubt it. I doubt it. They're doing this in secrecy. All of this is being done in secrecy, y'all. I cannot make it up. All of it is being done in the secrecy behind the scenes. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, these people are foolish, man. They're naive as well, is what Spirit is saying. Okay? Especially when it comes to some type of like guidance. They want you to be in this energy of being naive as well. And somebody is most definitely trying to put you to what somebody wants you to have to start from the ground up. Somebody wants you to have to start from the ground up, yeah. But whatever it is that they're doing, Spirit has said it's not going to work with the hangman in the reverse. This could be possibly be somebody, man, who's very stubborn and somebody who's afraid of becoming the sacrifice. Okay? Because I'm telling y'all, somebody was heavily trying to sacrifice you. Talk to me, Spirit. Yeah. Doing moon magic, y'all, behind the scenes in secrecy, and everything that they're doing with the moon coming in reverse is coming to the light now. Everything that they're doing is coming to the light. Every betrayal that they tried to do to put you in the Three of Swords energy, to try to disconnect you from your intuition, to put you in a state of emotional turmoil, no, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And I'm telling you, man, somebody, man, this is two lovers, man. This is two lovers, man. And this is pertaining to a lot of money. And they paying a lot of money to do this. My question is where you getting the money from? Where are you getting the money from?
They fooled me to send in the money, telling me it was something else.
Yeah, it's an officer involved with this as well. Okay, an officer could even be watching these people. I cannot make it up.
They told me I was building
this officer
on something else, but then they just changed it up on me. Told me a damn lie.
Could be somebody connected to your childhood. Whoever this officer is, talk to me, Spirit. What else do we need to know?
Bitcoin.
Yeah, somebody want to win at all costs, man. Somebody from your childhood wants to win at all costs.
Gift card.
This could be a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, and they could be working with an officer. Both of these people are from your childhood, okay? And they're working with a dark high priestess, and this could be a mother, y'all. I cannot make it up. A mother and an uncle, okay? This could be a maternal mother, okay? This is what Spirit just told me. Your biological mother and her brother could be working together. These are two people from your childhood. They're energy vampires that's working with high priest energy, okay? To get some type of like work done for some type of inheritance. Make no mistake about it. They're energy vampires that's working with high priest energy, okay? To get some type of like work done for some type of inheritance. Make no mistake about it. For some of y'all, okay? Not for everybody. But this is what's going on behind the scenes. And look, it's sick, y'all. Like, money. Money is like a sad thing. And I ain't gonna lie, at this point, I just want the Most High to take their ass off the earth. Get rid of them.
Me too. Because it's been too long. They've carried me through this for years, and I'm tired of it.
Because I can guarantee you, none of the collective deserve this, man. They still here, running around rampant, steady trying to target you, worried about your life, listening.
They took everything I got.
Are you ready? Because today, everything changes. The veil behind the strange events you have been unable to make sense of for years, the strange glances you have been secretly turning away from your surroundings, and the intuition that has suddenly dawned on you is now being lifted. Yes, it has been told to you like a story starring aliens, but the truth is unmasked today. Perhaps that uneasiness that grips you at night when you look up at the sky, or the alien beings you dreamt of just when you were about to forget, were trying to tell you something. Now an alien is confessing what happened in person. Now an alien is confessing what happened in person. When everyone didn't understand you, they thought you were different. But now, it's time for the secrets to be revealed. Because you are not an ordinary person. You were chosen, and what you have been through is not a coincidence, but part of a destiny. If you are ready, now is the time to write 333 in the comments now, because this confession will confuse all those who are watching you and will open the door to a period where the cards are redistributed. Open your eyes now, because the truth begins. Imagine a lamp set high on a hill, glowing through the darkest stretches of night, its steady flame inviting weary travelers to find their way home. In a world of shifting shadows, that light stands unwavering, not because it's never been battered by wind or rain, but because it's anchored in a power greater than itself. Many passers-by, blinded by their own anxieties, confuse the lamp's unwavering glow with pride, its warmth with exclusion, its clarity with judgment. They fling handfuls of mud, hoping to dim its brilliance, yet every bit of resistance just polishes the glass and makes the light shine brighter. Beloved, you are that lamp, rooted and radiant, drawing your supply from an eternal wellspring. Just as the oak's roots burrow deeper every time the storm howls, your spirit grows stronger each time adversity tries to shake your purpose. The uninitiated may label your resilience as stubbornness or your confidence as arrogance, but heaven knows the truth. Every stone cast against you is another testimony pressed into the foundation beneath your feet. They don't realize it, but their opposition is only strengthening your position for the harvest God has already prepared. You see, this season isn't just about enduring attacks or outlasting criticism. It's about multiplication. The same tree that receives stones for standing tall will be the one to offer fruit and shelter when the heat rises and resources run low. And the lamp they tried to extinguish will become the beacon the lost flock toward in their hour of greatest need. God carves deeper channels of wisdom in your character. For every misjudgment, he pours more mercy and discernment into your story. Let me tell you something. Your presence recalibrates the environment. Policies shift where your integrity walks because truth echoes louder than gossip. They don't realize it, but their opposition is only strengthening your position for the harvest God has already prepared. It's about multiplication. The same tree that receives stones for standing tall will be the one to offer fruit and shelter when the heat rises and resources run low. And the lamp they tried to extinguish will become the beacon the lost flock toward in their hour of greatest need. For every accusation, God carves deeper channels of wisdom in your character. For every misjudgment, he pours more mercy and discernment into your story. Let me tell you something. Your presence recalibrates the environment. Policies shift where your integrity walks because truth echoes louder than gossip. Family rifts heal, not because you demanded an apology, but because your spirit radiates a peace that transcends old offenses. Congregations find their vision because you've been through the furnace, and your words are seasoned with authority earned in the heat. God didn't let you weather these storms just to prove your resilience. He's turning every trial into a platform for legacy. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify his kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. May God bless you. You may have been misunderstood, labeled, or dismissed, but that's not your ending. That's your launching pad. Like the oak in the clearing, you'll see generations find rest under the shelter of your obedience. Like the lamp on the hill, your story will call home those who are wandering. This is not the season to shrink or grow bitter. This is the time to keep standing, keep shining, keep offering what God put in you for a world that desperately needs true light. The truth is, every challenge, every word spoken against you is being woven into a testimony that cannot be silenced. You are a living letter written by the hand of the divine. You are a living letter written by the hand of the divine. read by everyone who crosses your path. So hold your head high, dig those roots deeper, let your flame burn undimmed, and watch as heaven takes everything meant to break you and turns it into blessing for you, and for all who draw near. Imagine a lantern glowing in the middle of a foggy valley, steady, golden, unwavering. As night falls and confusion swirls thick as mist, that lantern draws every eye, not by shouting or forcing its way, but simply by existing. That's how you walk into a room. Your presence is the gentle warmth that holds back the cold, a guiding flame for hearts lost in the gray. When God places a light inside someone, it doesn't need to compete with the noise or beg for attention. And watch as heaven takes everything meant to break you and turns it into blessing for you, and for all who draw near. Imagine a lantern glowing in the middle of a foggy valley, steady, golden, unwavering. As night falls and confusion swirls thick as mist, that lantern draws every eye, not by shouting or forcing its way, but simply by existing. That's how you walk into a room. Your presence is the gentle warmth that holds back the cold, a guiding flame for hearts lost in the gray. When God places a light inside someone, it doesn't need to compete with the noise or beg for attention. It quietly transforms everything within its reach. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones. You carry a spirit that exposes the make-believe stories people tell to keep themselves comfortable in the dark. Some can't stand the clarity. It reveals what's been ignored for too long. They may try to paint you with borrowed colors, say you're too kind, too determined, too open-hearted, too unyielding. But all their labels slide right off because your identity is sealed by a power greater than any earthly rumor. All their labels slide right off because your identity is sealed by a power greater than any earthly rumor. But all their labels slide right off because your identity is sealed by a power greater than any earthly rumor. Just as a mountain remains unchanged by shifting winds, you stand rooted in truth while others fidget in the shadows, uncertain which mask will shield them from the light. In every circle you enter, the air changes. You don't have to demand respect or chase applause. Authenticity simply radiates from you, calling things out of hiding. Like a lighthouse on a stormy coast, you shine for those ready to find their way home, whether they thank you or turn away in fear. Some will feel the old fears rise, doubts, anxieties, regrets, but it isn't your presence that stirs their unrest. It's the echo of their own unrealized potential, awakened by the example you set. That's the gift and the challenge of being chosen. It's the echo of their own unrealized potential, awakened by the example you set. That's the gift and the challenge of being chosen. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below. Beloved, your very existence is a testimony. You carry a spirit that exposes the make-believe stories people tell to keep themselves comfortable in the dark. Some can't stand the clarity. It reveals what's been ignored for too long. They may try to paint you with borrowed colors. Just as a mountain remains unchanged by shifting winds, you stand rooted in truth while others fidget in the shadows, uncertain which mask will shield them from the light. In every circle you enter, the air changes. You don't have to demand respect or chase applause. Authenticity simply radiates from you, calling things out of hiding. Like a lighthouse on a stormy coast, you shine for those ready to find their way home. It's the echo of their own unrealized potential, awakened by the example you set. That's the gift and the challenge of being chosen. You are a living standard, proof that the Spirit still moves through human vessels, and proof that integrity hasn't gone extinct. So let them talk, let them trade their suspicions back and forth like campfire stories, growing taller in the retelling. Their tales are only smoke, swirling, dancing, but never touching the flame. You are the keeper of that flame, the living reminder that what is real will always outlast what is whispered. God didn't call you to argue with shadows or stoop to their level. He called you to be the torchbearer in an age starving for sincerity, a quiet revolution in a world of empty echoes. God didn't call you to argue with shadows or stoop to their level. He called you to be the torchbearer in an age starving for sincerity, a living reminder that what is real will always outlast what is whispered. God didn't call you to argue with shadows or stoop to their level. And when the dawn breaks, beloved, you'll find that even the loudest naysayers cannot stand against the one who stands with the truth. You are not here to blend in with the fog or dim your light to suit the darkness. Their tales are only smoke, swirling, dancing, but never touching the flame. A living reminder that what is real will always outlast what is whispered. God, He called you to be the torchbearer in an age starving for sincerity, a quiet revolution in a world of empty echoes. And when the dawn breaks, beloved, you'll find that even the loudest naysayers cannot stand against the one who stands with the truth. Quiet revolution in a world of empty echoes. And when the dawn breaks, beloved, you'll find that even the loudest naysayers cannot stand against the one who stands with the truth. You are not here to blend in with the fog. You are not here to blend in with the fog or dim your light to suit the darkness. You're here to be the steady fire that draws lost souls towards something greater, the proof that authenticity, like faith, endures every season. That's your calling, your legacy, and your unbreakable promise to the world. Picture a field at sunrise, dew still glistening, grass yet untouched by the weight of the day. Suddenly, a flock of crows descends, cawing and pecking, not because the soil is poor, but because the ground is rich. That's the mystery of favor, beloved. Wherever God plants you, the earth gets brighter, the harvest grows sweeter, and those who have yet to till their own soil will sometimes mistake your blossoming for a threat. It's a curious thing, how the weeds of envy dress themselves up in the language of helpful advice. You step into a room with a song in your heart, and there's always someone ready to call it noise, not because it is, but because your melody reminds them of the music they stopped singing long ago. You lift your hands in gratitude, and somehow that's spun as pride. You speak life over your journey, and suddenly the story is you're trying to put someone else down, not because it is, but because your melody reminds them of the music they stopped singing long ago. You lift your hands in gratitude, and somehow that's spun as pride. You speak life over your journey, and suddenly the story is you're trying to put someone else down. What they cannot see is that your joy is just overflow from a well that never runs dry. A well they could draw from too, if only they'd remember how to lower the bucket. You see, a mirror doesn't judge the face that peers into it. It simply reflects what's already there. That's what happens when your spirit shines with undiluted truth. Some folks don't want to face what's been left gathering dust in their own attic. Your delight in small victories reminds them of the battles they abandoned. Your gratitude exposes the corners where their own thankfulness went missing. The light you carry isn't meant to make others feel less. It's meant to remind every wandering soul that there's still time to come home, still hope for a new planting, a new season, a fresh start. Now, there are those who will keep twisting the truth as long as you let them. They'll point at your harvest and call it arrogance, not knowing the midnight hours you spent on your knees. They'll see the fruit, but never count the storms you weathered or the prayers you whispered in the valley. But you, yes you, are called to shine anyway. Called to shine anyway. Don't shrink back. Don't dull your joy to fit someone else's comfort zone. When the world tries to make your light a burden, remember, the sun doesn't apologize for rising, and you don't owe anyone an apology for the blessings God has placed in your hands. Dear brothers, not knowing the midnight hours you spent on your knees, but never count the storms you weathered or the prayers you whispered in the valley. But you, yes you, are called to shine anyway. Don't shrink back. Don't dull your joy to fit someone else's comfort zone. When the world tries to make your light a burden, remember, the sun doesn't apologize for rising, and you don't owe anyone an apology for the blessings God has placed in your hands. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. You are not responsible for their shadows, only for your own radiance. Your life is a signpost for what's possible, a living testimony that the seeds of hope still break ground, no matter how long the winter. Keep laughing, keep celebrating, keep pouring out gratitude like rain on thirsty ground. Because for every critic who tries to box you in, there's a wanderer looking for the road you're blazing, someone who needs to see that joy is still possible, that gratitude still opens doors, and that favor isn't a crime. It's an invitation to dream again. So walk tall in the field God gave you. Let every step affirm the truth. You are proof that grace grows where it's welcomed, illuminating every darkened corner others hoped would remain unseen. You carry a testimony not just of survival, but of radiant victory. You are the living proof that what should have broken you has only crowned you, that what was meant for your harm has been woven into a narrative of unstoppable grace. You're not the villain painted in the margins of their anxious stories. You are the proof that divine favor still confounds the... You're not the villain painted in the margins of their anxious stories. You are the proof that divine favor still confounds the schemes of the adversary. In a room full of accusers, your presence becomes a living reminder that a higher author writes your destiny. There is no script they can compose, no rumor they can invent, no lie they can circulate that has the power to erase what God has marked as redeemed. You are living evidence that legacy is written by those who rise, not those who plot. So let the storms come. Let the opposition organize and the whispers multiply, because every attempt to define you only sharpens your outline. What was meant to bruise becomes the very place that the divine light shines through the brightest, and you stand not merely untouched, but transformed. You are the message of hope in human form, the testimony that faith isn't just something spoken about in quiet corners, but something worn out loud for all to see. And as long as there is breath in your body and promise in your soul, no attack can stain what was always meant to shine. Imagine a vast field at dawn, dew on the grass, every blade shimmering as the sun stretches its arms across the horizon. For years, a scarecrow stood in the center, arms outstretched, casting a shadow that seemed to keep the crops under its control. But when the light finally breaks through, that old scarecrow, propped up by secrets, straw, and the whispers of the night, can't withstand the power of the new day. The sun exposes every stitch, every patch, every hollow inside. Beloved, that's the moment you're walking into. The puppeteer who tried to choreograph your steps and tangle your journey with invisible strings can no longer hide when heaven's light shines on the field. For too long, this hidden hand manipulated the hourglass, turning friends into strangers, sowing division like seed scattered in a storm. Every rumor was a gear in the clock they built to keep you running in circles. But God is the watchmaker who knows how to reset every mechanism, and what was engineered for confusion is now being reversed for clarity. Their private coalitions, those huddled midnight meetings and sealed door agreements, are now illuminated like lanterns on a country porch. The lines they drew in secret are now drawn in the sand for all to see. Their tangled plans, all those backroom blueprints and whispered phone calls, are exposed under a sky so wide that not even their oldest tricks can find a shadow to hide in. Truth doesn't panic, doesn't hurry, doesn't shout to be heard. Like a river cutting through stone over the ages, it is patient. It endures every drought and every deluge. The masquerade can only last so long before the masks start to itch and slip. What was hidden behind velvet curtains now stands before the congregation, plain, unadorned, unable to spin a story in the presence of authentic light. You know, sometimes the enemy thinks if they pull enough strings behind the scenes, nobody will see the show is rigged. But God is always the main act, and when he pulls back the curtain, even the best illusionist has to take a bow and admit the act is over. The timekeeper who thought they could rush your destiny or stall your growth has met the sunrise that waits for no one. Now, every alliance they stitched together with secrecy is coming undone at the seams. The silent deals are being spoken aloud. The tangled webs, spun with such care, are blowing away on the breath of a new morning. This isn't just exposure for exposure's sake. This is divine order coming back to the house. Like spring rain washing away winter's dust, the truth is making the ground fertile again. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, his protection and blessing is on your... The tangled webs, spun with such care, are blowing away on the breath of a new morning. This isn't just exposure for exposure's sake. This is divine order coming back to the house. Like spring rain washing away winter's dust, the truth is making the ground fertile again. Now is the time to share God's blessings. Remember, his protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of his divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as his mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. And here's the message for every chosen one listening. The truth is on your side. You don't have to chase the masquerade. You don't have to run after those who wear 1,000 faces. All you have to do is keep showing up in the light, knowing that no trick or trap can outlast the patience of God. You are not defined by their confusion. You are not limited by their manipulations. The story they wrote in the dark is erased every time you speak the truth in love. Beloved, you are the sun rising on that field. You are the dawn after a long, cold night. And every plot, every puppet, every last clockmaker hiding in the back room is about to discover what happens when heaven's light pours through the window. The harvest is coming, the field is ready, and the old scarecrow can't stand against the real sun. The truth is patient, and it outlasts every masquerade. Now get ready to walk in the fullness of your calling, knowing that nothing hidden can stand when you bring the light. For those who would not confront you openly, they resorted to subterfuge, planting doubts like weeds in the minds of others, always hoping you'd trip. Boardroom whispers, social media whispers, prayer circle whispers, each meant to erode your foundation one grain at a time. They scrutinized your every move, treating your human moments as evidence of disqualification, never understanding that real leadership grows in the rich soil of both triumph and trial. If you feel God's presence, their tactics were designed as invisible snares, set in places where only intuition could spot them. Speak your mind, and you're called unruly. Hold your peace, and they accuse you of secrecy. Express your heart, and they brand you unstable. Maintain composure, and suddenly you're too distant to be trusted. It's a house of funhouse mirrors, but the trick is old. No matter which way you turn, the image is never quite your own. Yet the day comes when those mirrors crack. The funhouse empties, the distortions fade, and your true reflection stands tall and clear. No title, no whisper, no label can cover the signature of destiny placed upon your soul before your first breath. And in that moment, the very ones who tried to erase your name will watch as you write the next chapter, not in ink, but in the indelible language of legacy. Let them scurry for new stories, for your narrative is now too strong to be rerouted by rumor. Like a steadfast lighthouse on a foggy night, your example guides others home. You're no longer at the mercy of tides that never knew your name. The only script you follow now is the one heaven authored, line by line, with each page turned by faith. Just as a river does not cease flowing when pebbles are tossed at its surface, your life does not halt for the obstacles thrown by small minds. It runs deeper, richer, carrying the silt of every trial as fertile ground for something new to bloom. When policies shift in places you walk, it's because your presence raises the standard. When old rifts in family are healed, it's because your words carry the medicine of reconciliation. When empty visions find direction, it's because your story has earned its voice, etched with the fire of endurance, tempered with compassion. Your calling is not simply to outlast opposition, but to outshine it, to recalibrate the environment with the signal of integrity and the frequency of truth. Mercy flows from you like oil poured over a wound. Authority grows not from domination, but from authenticity recognized by all who encounter you. So, beloved, step into your day with the assurance that you are both the anthem and the answer for such a time as this. Every shadow cast by another's fear is only a contrast to the brilliance heaven set within you.
Now my life is beautiful. Praise comes easy to me. But I felt when all was darkness, for the truth was so hard to see. Oh, but thank you for the trial, if it will bring me close to you. Help me, Lord, to smile when things don't go the way I want them to. And if I suffer pain, help me, Lord, that I don't complain. But thank you, Lord, and praise you just the same. I want to thank you, Lord, and praise you just the same.